Alright, welcome to a very good morning over here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Another fresh morning of analysis, another fresh morning of football conversation and breakdowns and all the updates I say on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I have a covenant with you, Semi Bro, the most consistent updates, consistent analysis I say on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So, subscribe to the channel. Now, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notification turning. I choose all. So that anytime your content ever drop, we are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And there are lots of the conversation ever be there. Has be run me be didn't come analyze all the conversation. Also, there it is and Betway codes are available after boom na you know. And then the Betway codes are also available. We investor. That's what we're saying there. We try some codes there. Then of course. In the description of the video now they are to one wait my pick Betway codes now they're hishing, then you give yourself a very good chance at winning our on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. With the codes in the Betway just 3 to 4 codes, pick up those codes for your Betway app and then give yourself a chance at winning something because the next Club World Cup games or Paris Saint-Germain money they are going to play, and it's a good opportunity to go in there and go and get some wins. While there are also some other games also in Europe, Ocean, if anything, there are a lot of competitions that are also going club and international, also in the various competitions. You already come up, BBI, come on. We'll see how things are going to go. See, let me say this. Me a big fan of Pogba. I've been a big fan of him since his days at Paris and at Juventus. And to be very honest, if you are somebody who have gone through life and its mishaps before, you understand why and not Pogba signing a contract with Monaco, and then he was not just close to tears, but he was crying. The young man was crying, and I think in that moment, Pogba will remember everything that he has gone through as a player, all of the stumbling blocks we face here, and how those things wouldn't have been possible at this point in time, how those things would have been impossible for him to play football again. But then, Pogba kept on going, and today he's playing football. Charlie, the video is touching, to be very honest. When I see the Pogba video crying now, it touches my heart. See, oh God, Pogba. I mean, a good say, and then after all of that, no, Paul has now getting a chance at life again. He is going to be a player.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful to see, my friend, to be here, to live this with you. It's not sorry, it's thank you from our side. Special moment for you. It's also for us.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
It's just the first step of the next one, Paul. Let's look in front and do the job. The conditions are here. I told you, we're on the right place with the right people.
Thanks for the trust.
We'll see how things are going to happen over there with Monaco. And it looks as if next season Monaco midfield, any attack will be very interesting. There's going to be Asmani Fati, there's going to be Pogba, and then of course a very good team. Yeah, how things are going to pan out from there in terms of what Pogba brings to this team, your friend FC Monaco. We'll see how things are going to pan out from there. Near the come on in all of those analysis now. Of course, I have big breaking news for you on Chelsea transfer updates and about them near this coming in, of course. But before then, let's go around the world, near how things are going on, especially from the camp of team friend FC Barcelona. Barca for Hansi Flick is pushing for more signings at Barcelona. He identifies two big priorities Barca wonderkid believes he is prepared to handle penalty and free kick duties next season. And I say, I'm right here, friend, Lamine Yamal, when Hansi Flick in common. In that in common, Hansi Flick, catch a coach and he say, oh no, Lamine Yamal, he can handle free kicks, he can handle set pieces, he can handle penalty kicks next season. And next season he should be the designated penalty taker, should be the designated free kick taker or Barca team. And of course, Lamine Yamal is taking up more responsibility. So why not? He's a star boy in the face of team and friend FC Barcelona, and as long as he's a star boy there, definitely he would ask for some of these responsibilities. Even a bigger player our team and friend FC Barcelona, or we'll see how things are going to go. Barca are planning to have a change in first team captain. Barca first team captain, our friend Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Now, given all the issues that's going on with ter Stegen, Obetina, my brand here, your friend Joan Garcia, and the future of ter Stegen, saying that this is a Barca for Jessica, so I mean, all of those things with a brand here, friend Marc-Andre ter Stegen. What is going on is that ter Stegen, clear, say he wants to stay. If you stay, Barca would have to make sure say they deal with the captaincy situation well, because on the face the general captain of the club or Bobby on the team meetings inside the money. Maybe Barca plan say they will leave the handle of the captaincy issues with coach and friend Hansi Flick, and once they do, they will find a resolution as to who becomes the next general captain of the team. My friend FC Barcelona removing the first team captain from his role, even if he stays from team my friend FC Barcelona, we'll see how things are going to pan out in that regard. With respect to Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Barcelona, Hansi Flick, and all of the drama that has been dragging on for a very long time. Flick wants more signings. That is what is in front of sport today. Barcelona want to do a lot of their business in the new financial season that starts from the 1st of July 2025. And if Barca wants new signings there, then it means that Hansi Flick definitely would want to get some more signings. He would want to be able to make sure, say, you get some fresh players to come back into his team and then help him succeed in going for it. And that's what is in front of sport. What I'm saying, Hansi Flick set up a new signings, open some more signings. No, my Juma or Barcelona come on. We'll see how things are going to go. With respect to Abantia, your friend Hansi Flick, and the fact that he wants signings of Hansi Flick one backup right back and striker to complement the current squad. And I've said it several times Barcelona have said it several times that Osha last season, at the tail end of last season, the most critical part of their game was at two positions, right back, left back. Time and Alejandro Balde Babi Prayer, not Alejandro Balde, Alejandro Balde Babi Prayer, in about the Juice Kunde Prayer, not affecting Barca was very critical. The work that FC Barcelona did. I mean, keeping the weight with Alejandro Balde, my brother friend Jules Kunde being part of the build-up. So, ability to play in a field tit of one of the fullbacks being part of the build-up play, and one being high and wide aggressive, in terms of pushing up play from the nominal position. It's been very important from team and friend FC Barcelona, and that's exactly what Barcelona are trying to do with Hansi Flick, how he wants to play on the ball, off the ball, and stuff like that. Now, I will see how things are going to go on from there. Gerardo Martin has no plans of leaving Barcelona this summer. Hansi Flick believes that the squad was very tired at the end of last season. This is part of why they didn't win the Champions League according to Hansi Flick. So he would want to refresh the squad. He would want to make sure that the squad is well rested going for it. There was a big meeting between Deco and the Avanti friend Hansi Flick. They never demanded a specific signings, but he told Deco that they have unique opportunity to build best squad in the world this summer. That is what Avanti friend Hansi Flick and Kachom's on. One case changing trying. Barca for player way, for player A and player C and player D. If I'm Breno Debbie, but as opportunity no market name into Deco fast. No team for boys team because Barcelona are going to be very successful in how they do their things. We'll see how things are going to go. We'll see how things are going to pan out over there. In terms of Barca captaincy situation, Barcelona are considering removing first team captaincy from Abrante friend Marc-Andre ter Stegen. We'll see how things are going to pan out from there in terms of Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and all the conversation. There's a lot of updates in terms of transfer analysis, and Chelsea IVV a deal for a very important player, and there will be more. You didn't come on in the subsequent days. Of course, from Enra, the big news was the fact that Abrante friend Paul Labele Pogba and Abrante friend Ansumani Fati, Ababe Monaco players, and documents in signing. All the documents have been completed. These guys are going to be Monaco players next season. So back a couple of days ago, me catch up say there was a young German centre forward by a versatile. He's called Nick Woltemade. If I mentioned Woltemade and somebody corrected me, somebody I suppose lives in Germany mentioned that the name, the W is pronounced V, like Volkswagen. That's pronounced Nick Woltemade. And then the boy was being eyed by Chelsea. In the last game at Euros under 21 on board, when England call final, and England show me edgy cup no fear when say what we heard was that Abrante friend Nick Woltemade, Abrante has done a very, very good job of buying for have eyed him. Buying and preparing an opening bid for Nick Woltemade after proposal agreed. The club has internally agreed to proceed in talks and start pushing with Stuttgart for Nick Woltemade, and buying for him was a 6'6", very, very tall. Players are now almost 6'6" and they are tall and stuff like that. Usually they are not the best players in terms of their dribbling ability, their hold up, because the center of gravity is a little bit higher. But this guy is the kind of guy that has the height, but can also control the game, can play, can dribble and stuff like that. And it's a player that's buying and now closing in on with Stuttgart, although Chelsea did a scout report on him. What we are hearing is that Jean Duran, as it stands now, is going to move from Al Nassr in the Saudi Pro League to go to Fenerbahce in the Turkish Super League. Positive talks have taken place last 12 hours with director Devin Uzik in Colombia. Fenerbahce have the green light from Al Nassr and now looking to get a deal done also with John Duran over there, and we'll see how John Duran is going to go to Fenerbahce and then get a job and play under Jose Mourinho and all of those good things that ever cost in there at the club. And the good news is that, and while we were preparing for the game between Chelsea and Benfica, it was clear. So now Chelsea were finalizing a deal for Abrante friend Jamie Bino Gatins. Just after the Botafogo goal game, and Fabrice Hawkins about very report. And Fabrice Hawkins' reportage was clear, spot on, and he made a lot of sense. Now this is how Fabrice reported. Said Jimmy Gatins to Chelsea. Here we go. Deal agreed with a club, Dortmund, 55 million. The boy is being signed for Chelsea till 2032. 2032. That is where JBW, who always wanted Chelsea. At that point, what we are hearing from yesterday was that there was a point in time in the negotiation where Bayern tried to woo the boy with big money. They tried to tell him that, Charlie, yes, we are England, but what about Germany? You are being successful out of the German Bundesliga. We'll give you higher wages. Come and play for us. Or I say, our German Bundesliga. And then you see, it's not that deal. That thing wasn't going to be difficult for Team and Friend FC Bayern Munich, because 2 seasons ago, Chelsea were finalized their agreement with Crystal Palace and everything for Michael Olise. But if you remember, Bayern Munich won the deal for Michael Olise because they were able to convince him at the time with higher wages and to get the boy. But what we are hearing that in this case, Jimmy Bino Gatins decided that he was not going to move to any other club but for Chelsea. And what he says that medical was not started last night. All the updates. I'm giving it to you on Jimmy Bino Gatins. It was very, very close, despite the links with Bayern, and Chelsea were able to do that. Now, immediately after the Botafogo game, when Chelsea were able to secure the agreement with Dortmund, what Chelsea did was that they flew Abrante friend Jimmy Bino Gatins there and then in the USA to go and do his medical. And Chelsea said, okay, fine. This medical started later in the day, and of course he finalized the medical as well. and a pass Americano later in the day. It was the Americano was passed, the first part of the Americano, the second part of the Americano in the course of the week. Chelsea will pay transfer fee close to 55 million for Jimmy Gatons, the contract to be valid for 2032. That is where Chelsea are going to have a brand here, your friend Jimmy Gatons as the next player for Chelsea. Wanted him, Chelsea pushed for him. By the time Chelsea born game in now the first part of the medical was done for brand friend Jimmy Gatons for the 55 million dealer. Not Chelsea for Eddie Chasey and brand friend Jimmy Gatons. Now Gatons was from the left wing. Chelsea have said that they want one player that can play on the left wing, also can play as a second striker or can play as a versatile attacker. Team now. And there is one of Chelsea directors called Sam Jurasic. Now, he was the one on a scouting and branch friend João Pedro from Brazil wanted to bring him to Chelsea to England. Now, and immediately Chelsea for gets his deal now. Now already there will be some questions about Pedro. Newcastle for the kind of 50 million echo Brighton for him. Brighton for 90. Chelsea have a very good relationship with Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, immediately Newcastle for first bid was turned down. The boy was being spoken to. And a boy in the corner catch Brighton for and said he doesn't want to play for team my friend in Brighton, team my friend in Newcastle. No. So be movie every club him a team my friend in Chelsea Football Club. A honor no João Pedro episode won the ball next season. And it's Chris Jurassic quickly contacted the boy, contacted his entourage, contacted him. They had good conversations, and then the plan was that okay, then let us go in and then do a deal with Abrante friend João Pedro, and then we can have our man in more on Chelsea being fully involved in João Pedro deal as reported. Talks taking place. Chelsea remained interested since June with João as next target after Gatons that deal. It was happening fast. Chelsea were moving from first stage of the negotiation, second stage, third stage. Everything was just moving a little bit quicker because Chelsea want to finalize such deals. Don't also forget, don't take your eyes off Mohamed Kudus to Chelsea. In fact, this week Chelsea spoke to Mohamed Kudus's entourage. They spoke to team my friend West Ham United. They proposed 50 million plus some players to West Ham United. Axel Disasi and the likes. Mind you, Chelsea were 15 players that they can let go from their squad, and they propose some of these players to West Ham United. Say, it's my mamo players when we in Kudus in common about in the João Pedro deal and conversation. Immediately, João Pedro went to talk to Brighton and Hove Albion and said he wants to go to Chelsea and not Newcastle United. No. And Chelsea phone call back and Kobisa João Pedro and Kobisa Brighton phone and say how much is João Pedro going to cost them if they want him at Chelsea Football Club. And I almost say between 55 million there, Ubitman and Brantia, the friend João Pedro and Chelsea have intensified the talks for João Pedro over the Pedro deal. Chelsea are focused on João deal with Brighton after signing Jimmy Bino Gatons with medical yesterday. Newcastle had 2 proposals rejected for João Pedro. Hot kick on the market for Chelsea and Newcastle. Chelsea are closing on João Pedro. Like I mentioned to you, don't lose focus on Mohamed Kudus. Don't lose focus on Mohamed Kudus. Chelsea can go there and then do a deal for Mohamed Kudus over there. We'll see how things are going to go. Atalanta player called Matteo Regueri. Atletico de Madrid have prepared documents on him. They want him to move to Atletico Club de Madrid. 17 million euros, 3 million add-ons, make it 20 million for Brenta Efreno Regueri to go in the Inter for sign a new center forward in their team. Johan Boni, Inter, here we go, deal agreed between all parties. The understand contract will be fully agreed. Palmer will receive 23 million. Former Inter manager Christian Kivu, the player don't know what Palmer and Okofane Diamba, team my friend Inter Milan, for him to come and then do the job for him. Very important. Sabrantia, your friend Inter Milan, my brother friend Bonnie, we'll go to a club where he wants to do the job. Abrantier Freno, this guy, Timo Werner, has opened doors to a New York Red Bulls next club. Initial talks, green lights to the move. No, talks are ongoing. Timo Werner, but Nanti Chelsea, say chances are, then things don't go as planned. No, and then Timo Werner most likely is going to go to the US of A and play his football there. He is not likely to play in England. He's not likely to play in England or even Germany and mainstream Europe. No, most likely Timo Werner is not going to go on to play from there. Dortmund had a young winger called Yusufa Mokoko. He has just completed a deal in medical test with Copenhagen. The deal for 5 million fee on a permanent transfer for Dortmund over there to become one of their players. Olivier Giroud to Lille. Here we go. French star from America will go back to go and play in France for a couple more years. On Lille and Olivier Giroud is going by very, very soon. Your friend Olivier Giroud is going to go back to the country and then play for Lille. Brandon Buemo has told Brentford for he doesn't want any other team than Manchester United. Also, Masa, money now for team fufu be about so mobile convincing me for me to go and play for them. And yeah, possible. Only Manchester United and I met me and my Juma Wakachomo, not Tottenham Hotspur, not any other club anywhere in the world. Also, Man United. Also, no man being common. Man United for one team, and that's exactly where he wants to go and then do the job. Now, Madrid have unveiled on third kit, has been unveiled by Real Madrid. And if you go and you look at it, very, very exciting. Blue, no stripes, white and wall, very nice jersey being unveiled by team my friend FC Real Madrid for next season. It's going to be exciting. Madrid for the post no be say anytime I see this jersey, I see a different shade of blue. Of course, we'll see how things are going to go on. Hendrik Ramirez is back in Madrid camp and is going to prepare to feature in some of the games now. Of course, share our brighter friend Hendrik Ramirez. Onini and the Madrid players now have taken him in as one of their own. Young Bobby, they call him mobile, Vinny Jr. more, Rudiger more, exchanging pleasantries, and they're enjoying themselves now. We'll see how things are going to go on in terms of our brighter friend Hendrik Ramirez. The birthday of Jude Bellingham. Jude is a June born as well. That is why he has that aura and charisma on him. Congratulations and happy birthday to our brighter friend Jude Bellingham. For a lot of people, he's one of the best young midfielders. What we are hearing is that Madrid president Florentino Perez will fly to Miami tomorrow. He will stay as long as Madrid are in the Club World Cup. In fact, I think he has been there already, where some Madrid fans had seen him, and then they showed him what's the name? They showed him they've taken pictures of him. We'll see how things are going to go on over there. Team to come Miami. Papa friend Florentino Perez is going to be there, and we'll have a good one. Orange Humeni, according to Xabi Alonso and the reporters close to him, has proven to be indispensable. It looks as you said, Xabi Alonso has a personal job of managing these players now and giving them specific rules. My brighter friend Orange Humeni played an excellent role in that game against Salzburg, dropped deeper as a centre back in between the two wide centre backs, and then progress the ball as if he is a midfielder. And I think that's going to be a trait where Abrantia, friend Orange Humeni, is going to be very, very indispensable for team my friend FC Real Madrid, because already coach and friend Xabi Alonso is in lab with him over there. We'll see how Abrantia friend Orange Humeni is going to go into it in terms of how he wants to play and how things are going to go on from there. On the Madrid for an area, they are preparing actively to make sure say Club World Cup ABA Club World Cup we'll see how things are going to go. Now Chelsea for say they are immensely proud of everyone. By far, Chelsea best World Cup game at the Club World Cup was in Ranajo, and Chelsea phone have done an excellent job over there. Approved Erdan Somino for Strasbourg loan. That's what you're hearing. Say Abrante Fernand Somino will go to Strasbourg. That's where he's going to play his next football. Strasbourg. That is what Abrante, your friend, Erdan Somino, to go and do the job. We'll see how things are going to pan out from there. We'll see the conversation. We'll have all the analysis now over there as well. Enzo Maresca spoke after the game. And Moses Caicedo, what a machine! What a machine! The whole pitch like that. This late on, he truly gave us 200% every game, and time again, our rented friend Moses Caicedo has shown that Sikana Chelsea return. They have to go back and go and add some more money to Brighton and Hove Albion for quality player by our standard over there for our rented friend Moses Caicedo. We'll see how things are going to pan out from there. Now, after the game, Ruud Gullit also Chelsea are an enigma. I can't understand them. I don't know how they want to play. I don't know what their philosophy is. Is it only to make money? What are they trying to achieve? Chelsea has to have a DNA. This thing would delay. Maybe I don't understand what you're saying. Enzo Maresca after the game said, as I say, 85 minutes, we didn't concede anything and had enough chances to win the game. The team was very good. It was one of our best performances in the last weeks, 2 or the last 1 month. The game was very good for 85 minutes, but then we have a 2-hour break, and it's not the same game because you break the tempo 2 hours inside. We try to go out and continue to play the same, but it's difficult over there. And now in the Club World Cup, only Angel Di Maria Pedro more goals than a branch friend Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto has 3 goals in Club World Cup. Angel Di Maria has 4 goals in Club World Cup. After the game, Levi Cole spoke to journalists after the game. Levi Cole said, "We are winners. We had no choice other than to win this game. We all knew that and believed in that. Even when they scored, our heads didn't drop. We knew we could create chances when we did. That scoreline reflects over there." And that's exactly what Chelsea fans are saying. Maresca was proud of the boys. I say it's a joke. It's not football. I understand they stop it for safety, but it's probably not right place to do such a game of football. That's what he's saying. Say Charlie. In a game like this, no, it's like a ball stadium. I cover so, and you have a boca crevia. Yes, you monko share them kakra, and we'll come back later over there. I'll say it's not right. It's not right. According to reports, apparently a friend of Levi Cole, he hasn't lost any aerial duel this season. That tells you the quality, and he's going into it over there in terms of the quality that comes to it. So it will be a special emotional match for me, seeing all these players again: Messi, Busquets, Alaba, Suarez, Mascherano, who are more than just players. They are my friends. Yes, for me, Leo is the best in history, without a doubt. That is what Luis Enrique Eka, about the former players are on your way. Juma, I think my friend FC Barcelona. We'll see how things are going to go. We'll see how things are going to go. How things are going to go on from there. Chelsea have intensified the talks now with João Pedro. I mentioned it to you. We'll come back near this time. We'll see how things are going to go. We'll have the conversation, I say, on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So then, do take care. Bye-bye.